Why aren't they coming up to me? Is there something wrong with me?
I had to learn to really tone down my personality and not be so hi!
They don't want to be dependent on others. It comes with a cost.
I did this, you did that. How are we gonna share this? It's not a job, it's a relationship.
Are you not jealous at all with this? They say no.
You're lying! Don't sit back and stare at me to death. I'm not going there.
Is Sweden one of the hardest countries to connect with people? If you watch any of my previous videos, you know that I obsessively make a ton of videos about Sweden and why it can be such a lonely country and such a difficult one if you're looking for a relationship. So yeah, I might sound a little bit obsessed, but for good reason. According to Internations, Sweden comes second to last in the finding friends subcategory. A whopping 63% of expats say making friends here is hard, compared to just 37% globally. And while 38% say they're unhappy with their social life, that number is way lower in other countries, sitting at 26%. So what is it about Sweden that makes making friends and dating so damn hard? And is the whole thing blown out of proportion, or do the foreigners actually agree with this? By the way, making friends in Sweden can be hard, but you know what else is hard? Geo-blocks. Ever try to watch your favorite show only to get hit with that "this content is not available in your region" type of message? But here's another struggle. If you're heading to another country and trying to scope out the dating scene prior to getting there, most dating apps will lock you to your current location. That is, unless you pay premium. And that's where Surfshark comes in. With just one click, you can browse like you're in any country of the world, be it Netflix, Newsize, or Bumble or Hinge. Because let's face it, dating in Sweden is not exactly a fast-moving sport. And if you're already abroad, Surfshark keeps your data safe when you're swiping in public Wi-Fi. And the best part, one subscription covers unlimited devices. So you can stream, scroll, and swipe without restrictions. Get 4 extra months on top of the yearly subscription by going to surfshark.com/borders.
Sweden is known for being one of the hardest countries to make friends in the world.
Agree.
It's hard to make friends. Do you agree with that?
100%. Which is such a shame because that's actually one of my favorite parts is how nice Swedish people are. And yet it is so hard to make Swedish friends.
Quiet are true then.
Yes, 100%, definitely. Like in COVID times, we didn't even have to try social distancing because it was just automatic. It was already there.
It was a great excuse actually.
Yeah, but it also comes to a cost. Like, it's also nice to meet people, bump into strangers and stuff. You don't really do that as much here.
Yes, I am like that also. I have a little bit reluctant maybe to invite people home like that, but I do like to make new friends.
People are kind of stiff. If you go to a party, like say in Italy or anywhere in Europe, it's like big parties and people dancing and singing and being very outgoing. But here in Sweden, people are a bit more laid back.
Do you have any Swedish friends now?
Do I? I mean, I feel like my Swedish friends have come out of forced interactions. It wasn't because oh, you just ran into someone at the bar or, I moved in with a Swedish roommate I never met before and now we're friends. But now it's her friends have become my friends. You kind of have to find one and then they'll bring you to the rest of that.
People plan ahead along. 3 weeks ahead. They know exactly what they're gonna do in the evenings. They also have their 10-year-old friend group that they hang out with. It's quite difficult to just break into Swedes social circles.
The Swedish friends they are like this. They're born and they have their childhood friends, stick to that.
Yes.
And then they have their work friends, 1, 2 from the gym.
And they don't mix.
No. These are different dinners, okay?
Yeah, different dinners, exactly.
Different dinners, different setups.
In general, people are not talking to strangers, not even their neighbors. It's a bit sad. We need some alcohol to break in.
I think there is a certain non-written rules that you need to understand, and you understand those rules little by little. Of course, it's a country where people are used to plan a lot.
When a Swede allow you to their life, you're gonna take time. You have to fight for that. But it's meaningful because they have such a hard time to get to know new people and to open themselves up. When you finally get to know them and they allow you to be part of their life, it's in a real way. In Brazil, you go around and you can talk to people and you can chit-chat or even share deep things that a Swede would never do to a stranger.
In 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes. I live here, I don't know my neighbors. I don't know their faces. I don't know their names.
Once you do have friends here, they're very loyal, very, very loyal. When I was breaking up with my ex-boyfriend, like my Swedish friend actually helped me move out.
The Swedish people are not open, so if you're not open, they're not open. So, but if you try, you will succeed because people are very friendly and of course they want to say hi, but it's not like a normal thing to say hi to a stranger in the street.
We need to break the ice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we have made very good Swedish friends, but it took time. We did that through work, but actually in the first year we were here and we didn't have work to get us close to the Swedish society. It was really difficult to make Swedish friends. After you start getting into them, I think they become very, very good friends for life.
They were all having international experience, so I think that was like the decisive factor why they could also kind of introduce us to their group.
Like myself, I'm not like going on the streets and looking for Swedish friends in particular, but I have some Swedish friends and they are super lovely people. But maybe what's true that they also have some interest in like being open-minded and traveling and being international.
What advice would you give to someone moving to Sweden?
Join their walks, join their fikas, take your time to break into their social circles in a creative way. It's not going to be easy, it might take some time, and if you are a more introverted person, you'll fit here more naturally.
Try not to get depressed, like I said before, but like that woman, nobody invites you home. You have to, I guess, be active yourself and try to like find ways to connect with people here. Working out at the club or join a football club or something, or a choir, or I don't know, something.
So now let's talk a little bit about dating.
That's what I came for.
How has your experience about dating been?
Difficult? I don't know. Man, guys do not come up to you first. That's just like, and if a guy has come up to me, they're not Swedish. That can also feel very discouraging because then it's kind of like, well, why aren't they coming up to me? Is there something wrong with me? You know, girl mentality.
Guys here are more reserved, they're more quiet, and you're the one having to do the first moves and the first kiss and the first everything because they were very standoffish. It's like, come on.
How would you describe the Swedes guys?
They are afraid. No, I'm kidding. They are respectful. Calm,
Slow?
I would say they set back in many ways, but sometimes a little too much. Think about being passionate, like you don't think so much and then you just do it, which I miss because it's not a business. When dating, you expect the person to just do something out of the blue because they want you from the heart and not like take up later and say, yeah, I did this, you did that. How are we gonna share this? It's not a job, okay? It's a relationship.
How has your experience in dating been here?
Complicated.
Do you agree that Swedes are colder?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't really read the feelings of a Swede directly. You have to push really, yeah. Whenever I go abroad, I have a way easier time to force myself into speaking to strangers. It's basically like a switch. When I know here in Sweden that it will be difficult, people will not talk to me, then I may
just
as
give
well
up.
not. Yeah, exactly.
They are cold even to their relatives, to their all setting in life. They're pragmatic.
Yeah.
They used to do things one way only, and to be able to change a little bit the mindset can be hard.
Do you see that Swedes are different comparing to Greek people in dating?
Absolutely different. Like, I think it's day and night from the people that I am close to. The dating life in Sweden is much more, I don't know, open, and the minds are more open, whereas in Greece it's more like a traditional society.
When in Greece something like quite modern happens, quite outside of the box, we're saying, oh, we became Sweden. That shows that we are much more conservative in Greece, and that really applies to the dating life as well. Like the things I have heard in Sweden from my group of friends, like would never ever happen. Like the openness, you know, poly and all
Gender
that.
roles maybe?
Yeah, the gender roles as well, exactly. Like you see here, it's super equal.
And what about, for example, jealousy? Do you think Greeks are much more jealous than Swedes?
Yes, we are very jealous. That's a stereotype that is true.
No question about this. It's like day and night, day and night.
And when we ask them, like, are you not jealous at all with this? They say no. And we don't believe you.
You're lying.
You're lying.
I'm from Brazil. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm used to guys coming up to me. If they want, be a gentleman. I want to be courted.
Yeah.
Don't sit back and stare at me to death. I'm not going there. It's not going to happen. And if you receive a no, it's a no. If you receive a yes, it's life, it's a chance. Okay? It's not going to kill you to take the first step. Or else, like, am I dating my friend? If I'm dating a guy expecting to be the leader, a little bit, at least in the beginning. Break the ice, come to me, talk to me. Don't be afraid, I'm a nice person.
Maybe when it comes to getting married, that's something that Swedish culture, it's not expected. And that's very different from American culture. I'm sure it's becoming more common now that you don't have to get married, but in Sweden it's like totally fine to just raise a family together. You become sambos.
Yeah.
It's like a different word entirely, where you're not married, but you're not girlfriend, boyfriend. You live together and have a family. If I'm gonna date a Swedish guy, it's like, well, I do want to get married, and I know you don't expect that, but
It's like my family's a big Jewish family, and they're really loud, and they're very just talkative. When I was with a Swedish guy, their family are more quiet, more demure, more subtle and stuff, so.
Yeah, I face the same because I'm Brazilian, and when I came here and stayed with my boyfriend's family, and I was expecting them to be loud when everyone is together, gathering, and then it was very quiet and more formal, and it was a bit of a shock for me.
I had to learn to really like kind of tone down my personality and not be so like, hi!
Last Christmas, where both me and my boyfriend, we also went to visit my family in Poland, and I think he was surprised how everyone immediately took him into the family, and like basically everyone already knew about his existence. And I think like when we did the opposite for New Year's Eve with me meeting his parents, they were like more reserved. They wanted to meet me step by step. They were also super kind, but they didn't take me as a
Daughter
immediately, exactly.
I understand that it's a country of equality. What I like about here, maternity leave, they can also be responsible taking care of the house and the family, which is great and impressive. And so for me, one of the biggest positive side of Sweden is how a man can like really be part of the family without feeling emasculated. But if I'm dating you and the bill comes, take the bill. I don't feel like we're gonna be more equal if I pay a drink, because we are not equal. I'm not from here. I will never be equal. I'm a woman. I'm gonna bring life. I have cramps. I pay birth pills. I did my makeup. I came here. I put all the effort in. It is my mindset, okay? My opinion. Very personal. I feel like a woman and taking care of. That's what I need. I'm used to guys taking care of me. Let's say I just gonna say I'm thirsty. Go up, pick up a glass of water to me. Okay, water in Sweden is free and you take from the tap.
As a intercultural couple, do you face any big cultural shocks when you started dating?
It's about the planning for sure, and the time, like.
Yeah, sometimes maybe we say, okay, we meet in the afternoon, but maybe she thinks afternoon is maybe 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. and to me afternoon is maybe 6 p.m.
Are Italians very different from Swedes?
Yes, of course. Many ways. Most the romantic part, I would say. Like Swedish guys are very practical.
And why do you think there are so many single people in Sweden?
If you compare to some countries, there's not so much shame about divorcing or separating. Like in some countries, it's a big, there's like honor culture or something that you're gonna be shamed in front of your whole family, and so you never divorce. And we don't really have that so much here, which I think is good. If people want to live alone, they're gonna live alone, and there's no shame in that.
People are quite individualistic here. They don't want to be dependent on others. It comes with a cost. I think loneliness becomes quite big, and even as far as like fertility rate is dropping. I don't like it too much. I like when people are more open, have their friends as family, basically.
What's the best and the worst thing about dating Sweden?
The best thing for me, since I know the social codes, I have quite easy to get along with Swedes. But at the same time, I do like a bit more open people, etc. So it's not my kind of people that I find here in Sweden.
If you could choose, would you prefer dating a Swede or a foreigner?
A foreigner, 100%. Someone Latina or Eastern European or maybe Asian.
It doesn't matter so much, but I think I'd rather date somebody from another culture. Yes. Most people I've dated lately has been not Swedes.
Is there something about people from other nationalities that you like that it's hard to find here in Swedish women?
I guess so, yes.
What?
I cannot say for sure, but it's not, I don't know, I think maybe that open-minded quality, it's appealing to me, feels more interesting, I think.
The best thing is that I think the guys are very sweet and they're very nice and they're very polite. But the worst part is that sometimes they don't talk about their emotions and they don't talk about their feelings. When I was on Tinder, for example, a lot of them just wanted to have sex.
Yeah, I think here the hooking up culture is a big thing, especially in bigger cities like Stockholm.
I love that Swedish people are independent. Like, let's say my boyfriend can go and do whatever he wants, go out with his friends, and it's not a problem. In Brazil, it's when you're dating someone, you kind of do everything together, which makes you lose your individuality and your independence, and then you lose your personality a little bit. But when it comes from a woman dating a guy, I expect a little bit of leadership and first step and masculinity. Okay.
Do you prefer dating Brazilians or Swedes, or it doesn't matter?
I would love to meet a Swede that has been through a Brazilian before. So he has been trained. Please DM me.